In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Adobe Illustrator to create the layout for a trifold brochure. This is an example of a finished trifold brochure. First of all, you need to go to File, New, and select Print, Letter Size, and I will title this Trifold Brochure with my name on it. Instead of points, I'm going to change it to inches. For orientation, I will do horizontal. I do need two artboards, one for the inside and one for the outside. A bleed of 0.125, which is the decimal equivalent of 1/8 of an inch, is what you need. And if you click this little chain link here, it will fill in all of the boxes, top, bottom, left, and right automatically. What is a bleed? Well, let me move this out of the way for a minute. A bleed is when an image or a graphic bleeds over the edges of the document. So this red line here is showing you that your image needs to bleed to here and to here, so that when you get this professionally printed and the image is, or the document is trimmed, you're guaranteed that you won't have any unsightly gaps at the edges. Your graphic will actually be printed all the way to the edge of the document. Our color mode is CMYK. Let's check more settings and just double check that the raster effects are set to high. Then click Create Document. Alright, now we're going to have to set up some internal margin lines. And to do that, I am going to select a random color for my fill and bring forward my stroke and set it to none. I will select the rectangle tool and click one time on the artboard to bring up the rectangle size box. And for the width, I'm going to put in 11 IN, and for the height, I'm going to put in 0.25, which is the decimal equivalent of 1/4 of an inch, and then click OK. Now I will get the selection tool and drag this up to the top of my document. Now you'll notice that I snapped it right up here into the corner, not the red line, just the corner of the document. Now I'm going to reveal my rulers by going to View, Rulers, and Show Rulers. And then I will click directly on top of the ruler and pull down a guideline. And let's do Control-Alt-0, which fits this to the screen. You can see that the guideline goes all the way across both documents. Now I will drag this down to the bottom and snap it down to that bottom corner and drag down a bottom guideline. Now I need to change this so it's going the opposite direction. So I'm just going to go to Object, Transform, Rotate. I'll do 90 degrees and click OK. Then I'll move this over to this corner, pull out a guideline, move it here. Done with this page. Now I will go to page 2, and you have to click page 2 to make it active. Then you can drag out your guidelines. Okay, now I have my external guidelines finished. Now I need to know where my 3 folds are going to go. So I'm going to delete this and use the rectangle tool again, and I'm going to click and drag a rectangle inside the guidelines. There we go. And if I look at my shape size up here, it's 10.5 by 8 inches, which is perfect if you subtract my 1/4 inch margins. Now what I need to do is divide this into 3, and there's a really easy way to do that in Illustrator. Illustrator does the math for you. So here where it says shape, the first box is the rectangle width. If I click inside this box and put a slash, which is next to the shift key on the keyboard, and then put in 3, I'm dividing it by 3. So if I hit enter, this is 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3. Now I do want to guarantee that this is directly in the center of the document, and to do that I will use the selection tool, and I'm just going to offset it a little bit to show you how this works. So let's say you have this on your document and you want to make sure it's in the center. So to do that, you go to Align, make sure it says Align to Artboard, and then that reveals your alignment tools. So I will click Horizontal Align Center and Vertical Align Center. So now this is in the direct center of this document. So I will pull out my guide on this side, pull out my guide on this side. Now I'll move it over here, click this artboard to make it active, click my object, and go back to the alignment menu, double check that it's aligned to artboard, then do the horizontal center and the vertical center, then drag out my guidelines. Finish, so I can delete this. So now when I am laying out my document, I need to make sure that my information stays within these guidelines so that when I fold it up, things don't get cut off or folded in an awkward arrangement. So go ahead and save your changes to the appropriate drive, and you'll be ready for the next step. That's it for now.